Going live.
Going live.
We're live. All right, hit it. All right. Hello, 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 hello. I hear a little reverb. Sean Brady, leverage your lunch hour. Got a little crazy speakerage going on, but I have the one, the only, the fabulous Mich Hancock. Mich, how you doing today?
I am awesome sauce. Thank you.
Excellent. And hey, Jaleesa, our fabulous media coordinator in the background, do you got us in gallery view or speaker view?
I have you in gallery view.
Yes, the technology is working in our favor. All right, so Mich Hancock, for those that know or don't know, I'm telling you if you don't know, she is one of the co-founders of TEDx St. Louis here in the gateway to the West, the one, the only St. Louis. And you know, and you've been doing this for how many years?
So we are now TEDx St. Louis.
Yes. Now, yes, I used the correct new name. You were formerly
you're awesome.
TEDx Gateway Arch.
Correct.
For what, 4 years? 5 years?
Oh, wait. Oh, longer. No.
Oh.
This poster. Wait, other way. Poster. This poster. 1, 11, 14 was our first big event. We even had events before that, starting. What? We've been doing this for a while.
Nice. So for those that have seen a TEDx, this is the one. Mich is one who coordinates things here in St. Louis. And she's been doing a great job for a number of years and just met some fabulous, fabulous speakers. But what do you mean by TEDify your life? What is going on with that?
Well, it's like the ultimate of talks, right? Yeah. I mean, that's where TED has gone. It's like, that's the thing everybody wants to do, is they want their talk to be like a TED talk. And, you know, myself along with Josh Levy of Medici.
Yes. Levy like a Chevy. Yes.
So Josh and I have been working with a number of speakers now to help them to TEDify their presentations. No matter where you're doing this presentation, it may not necessarily be a TED talk for the TED stage, but you've been invited to a conference and you really, really want to have an impactful presentation. We can help you TEDify it so that, you know, because the whole idea about the TED Talk is ideas worth spreading.
Yes.
Which means even though the talk may be done, that the ideas are going to continue to spread and spark conversations. And you want your talk to be that way.
You want to be impactful. Absolutely.
Yes.
I've been impressed with all the people I've met that I had no idea have done a TED Talk. And they have, like, not necessarily St. Louis, but around the country.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa.
Now, yeah, I mean, it's become a movement.
Yes.
Right. So it's no longer just, oh, there's TED and TEDx. It's like an entire movement. My attraction to it has always been that it is working to evolve human beings and our planet as opposed to the other direction. Like a lot of things we're trying to do. I'm all about evolution. Let's go. Let's be more. But at the same time, we were talking about TEDify your life. It's more than just the presentations. I mean, you know, how do you show up at networking events? What kind of messaging do you have on your digital media? You know, how do you make it so that people will perk up and want to hear more?
So in the spirit of TEDifying your life, what's one tip, if you will, that you see a lot of people not doing with all those things, whether it be networking, their business, or just sharing ideas socially?
So for me, it's really interesting, right? Because I think I'm a lot to take in. You know, like
you are, Mich Hancock. You are.
You know, it's like, why is she bald? And there's this TED thing, and then she has this 100.
Is that a babushka? What is that thing?
So much. Like, what is she doing? You know, and so it's, you know, that's right. But I mean, in a sense, it's like I'm TEDifying Mich because I'm memorable in that sense. You know, so that it could be a visual cue. You know, so it could be something as easy as, you know, that person always is wearing a carnation in their lapel. You know, what are you doing that just sets yourself apart to brand you a little bit? But also, when you're networking, what are you leading with? You know, so as we know, I mean, if someone's like, oh yeah, hey, what do you do? And you're like, I do insurance. People will fill in the blanks. They don't want to talk to you anymore. Right? They're like, okay, I get it. I don't have to, we're done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So is there something that you can come out and say that makes you much more interesting?
Right.
I'll throw one out there. Like there was a coach and she felt like, when I tell people I'm a coach, it's just like, yeah, coaches, I get it. We're done talking. And as we were talking, I was like understanding her more, and she's really into travel and all of this. I was like, okay, so in a sense, you're going to keep people out of baggage claim,
Huh.
right? Getting rid of your baggage, right? That's what she's helping people to do because she's a life coach. So instead of her going to networking events and saying, oh, I'm a life coach, and people go, yeah, whatever. She's saying, well, I help keep people out of baggage claim. Now they're going to ask, what does that mean?
My kids don't even know what baggage claim is.
Well, right now, does anybody?
I know. I forgot what that is.
We're not many of us traveling right now. But,
No.
So it's just that thought of how do I show up in a way that make people want to know more about me and what I do and become a part of my world.
That's fabulous. And I know you mentioned Josh Levy, who is also his company, Medici Space, is a huge sponsor of this show. And what's actually getting it out there with Jaleesa Powell in the background. She's awesome. She's doing it. She's our media coordinator. She's making all this stuff happen. Thank you, Jaleesa. So we got her in the background. That's my little plug for Medici. But Josh Levy and you have been actually facilitating and helping people from all kinds of genres of life. I know just a bunch of different, financial advisors to people, helping a nonprofit and get their message out in the world.
Exactly.
What is there another thing another commonality that you see amongst all people that are, okay, we know that the first big fear before death, people would rather die than be on stage talking to people.
Yeah, but it's a real thing.
It is.
So let me take some of the away from people that are going, oh, what do I do?
Okay, take a breath, everybody. We're okay. Safe space. Safe space. We're staying in a safe lane.
We've seen it. The backstage of the TEDx stage, there's stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Bribing, come on, go out there. I'll give you money. Just go out there and do
right.
But so one of the things that, people, they freak out because, of course, they feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's one of the most awesome parts of any talk is to show your vulnerability. So if you go out and you do a talk and you're like, hello, I'm on the top of my game. I'm awesome. I got it going on. Everything's 100% perfect over here. Look at me and all my success. What are people going to do? They're going to turn you off. They can't relate to that. Yeah. So they're going to be like, yeah, bully for you. Whatever, buddy. So what you want to do is you want to show up vulnerable. You want to explain to people, this is the difficult part of, what the challenges I had to face and what I had to overcome to get to this place where I could, whatever it might be, whatever important you're doing at this time. So vulnerability is actually really good.
And that's not just when you're on stage. I did mention a bunch of different groups. And I know you've helped people who've never gone on stage, but it was helping them get comfortable, even sharing that vulnerability.
Yes, because it actually takes confidence to show that.
Yeah.
People that come up and are perfect, no way. People that say, oh, my life has just been this happy, little trail down with unicorns and rainbows and everything. That you're in great denial is what I'm thinking.
Well, it's one of the reasons, and I shared this with you before, is like, I love doing this show live, uncut, unedited, because when I see all these other awesome videos and they're pared down, and I get the brevity thing, right? It's like, oh yeah, keep it under 2 minutes, a very nice, short, concise message. And there's something to be said about knowing the whole picture. It's like, well, how come that cut in between those sentences? It's like, it sounds really good, but what was not said there? Was there a fly on their nose? Was there like something that was like the most powerful thing? They just blubbed up some words or something like that.
Right.
And so that's why I love doing it this format and things like
that. Podcast. I love doing the live, and
yes,
some people out. But at the same time, it's like if you screw up on something, you just call it out. Like, oh, wait, I didn't mean to say it that way, or that came off wrong. I mean,
Yep.
we are humans, and with just perfection is not a thing.
Yes. I did not cheat on my diet, but I broke my intermittent fasting today. I ate early, people. I did it. It was delicious.
Are you doing gluten-free?
I did do gluten-free.
Yeah.
Although I had some gluten earlier in the week, and that was tough.
So I've been so good and I couldn't take it. There's this sugar cookie dough ice cream.
They have a gluten-free one.
Wait, no, this is
I'm pretty sure I saw a gluten-free one.
sugar cookie dough. It has icing and like sprinkles it. Oh my God, it's like birthday. It's like a whole birthday celebration.
It's a birthday in an ice cream cup.
It's so good. I had to have some.
Sometimes we just have to come off the gluten-free wagon, even if our medical professionals advise us not to. And I physically do not feel well when I eat it, but man, my mouth is happy for a little while.
Yeah, you're just like in just total happiness mode.
Yes.
Then you wake
Yes.
up, you're like, oh, oops.
So before I digress, in my gluten-free Aunt Mary's fried chicken that I made today, it was freaking awesome. What else can people do? So being vulnerable and just really letting the inside in. That's another reason I love people talking is, it's like, well, find out not just about their business. I love when people talk not about their business, because then I feel like there's more of a real side to them.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So stories are big, especially in a presentation, right? And it can be a story about you, if that makes sense for your presentation. And that's
Yes.
what you remember. That's something that they can really hold on to. Be authentic. Just be the real you, which is part of being
Be more you. It's up here or up there.
Be more you. One of the things that TED talks like, and I think people like as well, is research and data. So if you got some numbers to apply to what you're talking about, again, people like that. They can, and if you can make those numbers, again, relatable, right?
Yes.
So it's one thing to be like throwing all these numbers out and you're confusing the heck out of everybody. And they're like, what? I got lost in all the numbers. But when people are like, that's like going to the moon and back 5,000 times. You're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So
5,000 times.
If you equate the things that you are sharing with people, and 1 second, this is live. I'm on a podcast, so I'll talk to you later.
Is that Mickey? Hi, Mickey.
That's Mickey. I know. I didn't tell her. I didn't share with Mickey what I was doing.
Just say it's Sean Brady. She'll understand.
It's live. Here we are.
It's live. It's uncut and unedited. And Mickey's in the background asking about stuff.
Start something. Tuffy, did you want to bark? Did you want to do something?
I don't think there's a real dog there.
What else can I share with you that's really good?
Anything that's, I guess, one more tidbit, and then we'll close this episode, because I know we'll be back for many, many more. What is there anything else that it's like, oh my gosh, if someone just told me this about TEDx or TED Talks so many years ago, it would have made a world of difference for my life, for my business, for my gumption?
As far as if someone wants to do a TED Talk?
No, more for like you. Like, is there something that you wish you would have learned sooner about the whole experience?
For TED and doing these TED things?
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh my God.
Because I know you've like changed the trajectory of your business by applying all these different things you've learned. Right?
I think, gosh, and maybe this isn't just TED either, but
yeah.
But I think it's just everything. I think that being confident in who you just really are, flaws and all, is okay.
Awesome.
I mean, like this, you get it all the time, right? When you do these, you get some people are like, oh, I'm going to be live. I haven't done my makeup. I just found a new wrinkle this morning. And my hair, all this kind of stuff. And for me, I just kind of think, look, I'm a bald gal. I mean, hell,
Right. Exactly.
It's just who I am, accept it or not, and if
Right.
you don't accept it, then something's wrong. I'm super likable, but you know what I mean? It's like, just be okay with being you,
Yeah.
and then be okay with the things that you want to change, tell people.
Yeah.
Get help. Find somebody that can guide you along, that you're like, this is something I really need to change. I don't know how to change it. Right?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
There's my guide for life.
Easily stated, not so easily practiced.
Yes.
All the stuff up in here. Miss Hancock, thanks for always providing fabulous information and content and just joy for people. You're just awesome.
Thank you, Sean. So are you.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. All right, Jaleesa, you ready to roll the back part of it? I'll do my 3, 2, 1 in a second. You ready? Are you ready?
I'm here.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, signing off, as I always do, we may not see you in person, but we're always going to see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching.